Hello, watch lovers. You know what time it is. And joining me this evening, I have a special guest, Gav. Haven't I?
What?
Yeah?
A special guest?
Special guest.
Yes.
We brought him all the way down. We dug his passport out. He had to get on a train. And we have Alex, the watchmaker from Liverpool.
Thank you for having me, Spencer.
You're welcome.
If that's the best intro you can give Alex, Alex the watchmaker from Liverpool. It's Alex Photi, the legend.
Okay.
Shall I do
I'm
it?
a legend
Sorry.
now.
And I have Kaylee here. Oh, no. I thought you told me Kaylee was coming as well.
No, well, Kaylee obviously had Chris Brown to go and see tonight. And to be fair, Chris Brown or sitting in the studio with us, I know where I'd
That's
probably
it.
rather be.
First time. Gav, I think it's the first Monday she's had off.
I think it is actually, yeah. Solid. And of course, so we've pulled in D for backup for his friend.
Well, hang on.
Yeah,
We did
for
have a bit of a queue. There
Looks
was
just as
quite
well.
a few people.
There was quite a few, to be
wanted to
fair.
come on.
Welcome to Monday night, everybody. Welcome to That Watch Guy London. Great to have you with us all. I've seen the questions have been piling in over the weekend and also in the start of the chat. We will get round to all of those. Now, this is a man I've been dying to have on the show for a very long time. And you just happen to find yourself in London today, Alex.
I did, yeah.
And I heard about that last week and thought we can't pass the opportunity to get you on. Great to have you with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm going to start off because you're a favourite of lots of people because compared to Spencer, your knowledge of watches. In fact, Jimmy, your knowledge of watches compared to Spencer. James, your knowledge of watches compared to Spencer. Of course, unless it's obviously all things Rolex, in which case you are the king.
Absolutely.
The Rolex king. But it's I've been dying to have you on for such a long time.
you.
Great to have you down. And we're going to be
Thank you for
pressing you.
having me.
We're going to be pressing you on
Don't press me too hard.
Who
Okay.
is Alex Photi in just a minute. But first, it feels only right, Dee, that we should do a little wrist roll and pass them round. Let's have a look what we got on. What are you sporting tonight, sir?
Today I'm sporting the Air King Bloodhound. I've gone colour coordinated, the green and the yellow Rolex
You
colours.
literally look like you've walked off a golf course.
Yeah. Well, I thought I'd dress appropriately for St. Patrick's Day, you know.
Part of
Friday.
St. Paddy's Day.
Yeah.
See, the great thing about having someone who knows how to handle watches is straight away he knew how to put it exactly on the
The first
on the
time I've
phone.
seen Alex not wear a black t-shirt, and
Yeah,
first time
I
he's
know,
out,
it's
he's been
interesting.
stuck
I
thought
out
it would
of the
be colourful.
dungeon,
What
out
do
of
you
the
think?
dungeon for
Maybe
the
it's
last.
Michael Barrow thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. So, Dee, did you have this last week?
No,
No.
I didn't. I had the Tudor Black Bay SNG GMC last week.
Gotcha. Spencer, you must be wearing exactly the same as every week. What have you got
What,
on?
the sub? Shall I not
Yep.
bother?
Go
Actually,
on.
I've got something different here, Gav.
You've got
Alex,
something
you
different.
better explain this one to Gav because he won't quite understand the fat lady. As it's
What's he got,
referred
Alex?
to.
What's he got here?
Gav, this is quite a special piece.
Should we let Alex talk us through this one? Alex, what have we got here?
So we've got a beautiful fat lady with the patina showing on the dial and hands. Plus, this watch, you did tell me, has been serviced by Rolex. And the reason why
You
I
can
know
see,
it's
can't
that
you?
is because if you look where the shoulders are, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they call it the Bexley edge. So the way they polish the shoulders,
Yeah.
you can leave like a nice little edge where they lap the
And
case.
that's called the Bexley Edge.
Called the Bexley edge, and they I wouldn't say only Rolex can do it, but you can usually tell it's been Rolex serviced just from that, and the watch is in great condition. But
what
the
I
patina,
love with it, the hands and dial, just perfect. You
That-
know it's perfect.
my eyes as soon as I saw the dial and hands, I just thought, wow, that's just a nice piece. The patina, the patina just speaks volumes. And what's that watch worth?
Probably somewhere in the region of 18, 20,000.
What about to me?
You need Kaylee here. If you want to talk negotiations, Alex.
20, to you, Alex, 22,000.
Oh, thank you. Un comparo dame.
No, comparos os spiros, man.
Spiros mas.
Beautiful. It's an absolute stunner. It's an absolute stunner.
It's one of my favourites, by the way. I'm not just saying it, but it is one of my
Yeah,
favourites.
yeah.
And what is it you love about maybe the Coke?
Well, I like that watch. Personally, I like it because it's an easy watch to work on as a watchmaker.
Yeah.
Plus, the refinish of the case and bracelet is quite easy. Also, if you get any dents, you can laser fill it in. It's an everyday watch. If there's an issue with the bezel, you just put a new bezel insert in. So I would class that as an everyday watch, and you're not worried to scratch it or to scratch the glass because us watchmakers, we can service those pretty easily.
We're going to get to all this watchmaking business in just a minute, Alex. What have you brought down with you today?
Well, I brought my Submariner, my steel and gold Bumblebee.
Lovely.
It's called the Bumblebee, isn't it?
Yeah, it is the Bumblebee. Yep. Bzz.
It's called a Bumblebee.
I got this on my 40th, so I was 40 in January.
Oh, happy birthday.
So
This was your present to yourself?
present to myself. I also bought a gun as well, legally, of course.
Okay.
And
It's a good thing to have these days.
it is true,
Yeah.
just in case. But I actually enjoy wearing this watch. I usually wear the IWC Big Pilots.
Yes.
Now, I must admit, I was going to bring it down, but I chose to wear this. I would say this watch seems a bit smaller on my wrist compared to the IWC Big Pilots. But the Big Pilots is huge, isn't it? It's a pretty big piece.
And when you were choosing this watch specifically, because I actually have a problem with steel and gold. I just can't. I can't.
Oh, really? Why?
Just can't get my head around it. The two-tone. A gold I love, steel I love, white gold, but two-tone. But you've obviously picked this for a reason. Is it because it sets it off for you? Is that why?
Well, I was speaking with us today. I had the option to either get the blue or the black. Now, some people might think
I said go bluesy all day long, but
yeah, but the bluesy is a bit too in your face.
It's
I think
certainly a Laria model with the
yeah,
outfit.
and I don't.
fits my personality more maybe.
No. So I just didn't want to. I wanted to wear it every day, and I just felt as though the blue was something that is. It just stands out too much. Yeah, I don't want people.
I
to
do
stare.
prefer it in the black. To be fair.
Do you really, Gav?
Yeah,
Oh, I prefer the blue.
I do. I like the gold Daytona with the black face as well. The gold sub with the black face as well. I think it's a stunning watch. A question just came in actually, which is probably very valid. Why was the coat called a fat lady? Do you want to explain why the coat's called a fat lady?
Go on, Alex. I'll let you talk.
Should we just pop it back
Go
on? Alex,
No,
you
no,
take
let you
that.
Explain it. You know more than me.
It's the joint. It's on the two ones where they touch each other.
So let's just have a look at that.
If you go
Explain that.
First of all, the reference is a 16760. If you zoom in on it, Gav,
Yeah, to where?
you're on the dial.
Yeah.
See how they're touching.
So
See where it
what am I
says
looking for?
GMT Master 2.
Yes.
They're joint.
I see.
That's what makes it the fat lady.
So would you rather have this over the Fat 4, Kermit?
I've seen have that.
You'd rather have this?
And the Fat 4 is a fatter 4, isn't it? Literally.
That's all. It's just a fatter
Not
4.
that we're
I
fascist
just
or
think
anything.
that. I mean, that's on the bezel, but this I prefer personally. I prefer the Hulk over the Kermit.
I don't know.
Really?
I would find it difficult to choose which one.
Really.
Yeah, I would.
Right, what's Gav wearing? Well, actually, since nobody bothered asking, I'm going to tell you anyway.
What you got on,
Thanks,
Gav?
James. Thanks for asking, James. I've brought in my Milgauss, which I'm super happy with. Obviously, like any good watch person, I'm now praying for a discontinuation or a change of model number, reference number, to a 2, so that this becomes,
Can I say something about this watch?
Tell me anything. Go on, tell me something good.
Don't smash that glass.
I'm never going to smash it.
It's a lot of money, isn't it? It's a
Are
lot
they
of money.
expensive?
400.
I think they're more than 400.
Are they really?
I think they are. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Alex, see, you've got my Air King there. Put that next to the Milgauss, and you see it's identical in the case. It's only the finishing and the dial.
It's
Same
basically
movement?
the same watch.
Same movement.
Same movement, isn't it? Yeah, same
one,
watch.
Basically the
It's
same.
just like the Milgauss is probably more a bit more glamorous.
I can zoom out. Yeah, I can zoom out on that.
Alex, just touching on that, what do you think this year? Obviously, most of the 1-1s have been discontinued. We got the Milgauss, the 1164. Also, some of the Daytonas. What do you think we're going to see? What's your thoughts?
I think we might see variations in the Daytonas. I think we might see some difference in the Daytonas. I really don't have a clue. I don't really know what to expect, but something tells me there's going to be some new Daytonas that are going to come
I
out
think
with
we
different
may
dials.
get on the precious metal, but I don't think you're going to get much change on steel stuff.
No, I don't think you'll get much change on the steel, but precious metals, maybe different variations of dials. I don't know, but
I'm going to tell you what to expect.
Go on.
Be prepared to be disappointed.
Correct.
you think?
I've just learned that
That
the
is-
last 2 years of like really following this stuff.
Underwhelmed.
Just be underwhelmed.
Very underwhelmed.
But do you think that's because we put so much interest in it that by the time that they come out with something,
I
it's
think we
just
just
a disappointment?
we just believe the hype that they might do something because they're very good at teasing us with different angles of the watch and so on.
I think that's true. I mean, I'm going to say it. Heavenly Mark, put that out quite a while ago on his Instagram channel. And I just have a funny feeling he's thought about it so much that it's like putting it out there into the universe. It
Yep.
almost feels right that it could potentially be a right-handed Riddler
Yep.
and maybe a lefty Batman. potentially.
Oh, we can't go more lefties. I think they would
Why
just-
not try it for a year? Why not throw something out there for a bit of... Well, because it does this, doesn't it? It gets us all talking about absolute rubbish.
I think I'd like to see a Pepsi. I could
Yeah.
see.
Look, it's all about two, though. I think
Sorry,
Tudor will
not the
have a bit of
Pepsi, the
release.
Coke. It makes sense for there to
Yeah,
be a Coke
yeah, that
because
makes
we've
sense.
lost the Coke.
All right,
Yeah,
Paul
that makes
Thorpe
sense.
just wanted to correct you, Spence, just so you know. He goes, guys, it's a flat 4, not a fat 4.
I never mentioned it.
I said fat 4.
Yeah, and I think
So
I
I'm-
then said
I-
fat.
I know,
yeah,
yeah.
so you said flat. So Spencer, you're right. We're useless, and we'll just take it on
Yeah.
the chin. Thanks, Thorpe. Thanks.
Ding,
Hope you're well.
WhatsApp
Great to have you back.
certification approved.
Yeah. Alex, I want to come to you because honestly, I could literally spend hours talking to you because you're the font of all knowledge. I've seen you across lots of channels over many years. And first of all, when I watch you on your own channel, I really admire the fact that you seem to currently just not give a monkeys about the cat. You just get on with what you're doing. And you just talk while you go, as and when you're ready to speak. And people just sit there for hours watching you tinkering. How did you get into being a watch? Are you, in terms of watchmaker or as a watch specialist? What's the term for you?
So I did the WASTEP course back in the early 2000s. So there was about 8 people on the course, and there was about 40 worldwide. And success rate was very low because it was so difficult. So they would get us to make our own tools.
You'd make your own tools?
Yeah, make our own tools using lathes, make our own hammers, our own movement holders for holding the movement, and then they'll give us the tools, and then we had to make our own parts, and then they'll give us the parts. Looking back, I mean, I think that's great, but I don't think you learn what you need to learn when you're actually working on watches. If I was to go back, I'd rather do something where you're intense in the movement almost immediately, rather than making parts. I can appreciate why they did that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it really is necessary.
It's Iron Man. It's Iron Man.
It literally is make your own tools to make
So what
your...
tools did you make, Alex?
So we had to make like movement holders, out of brass, and then we had to lathe the threading and then nail the actual holder part, just like a movement holder, and then a hammer, make it from brass, and then steel. And it was crazy. It was amazing.
Incredible. And has the course evolved over the years? Are watchmakers that are coming through now, do they still have to go through the same rigorous process?
Yeah.
Or is
so
it a little bit simpler?
We've got a British School of Watchmaking
Yep.
in Manchester, which is producing exceptional watchmakers. I will say that when they come out of that school, they know so much. And I mean, their knowledge is amazing. I actually went down to visit some years ago, and I was just amazed by they actually make their own movements and cases, and it was amazing to see. I mean, that we didn't do that sort of thing. We didn't actually make like movement plates, or we kind of made our own hairsprings and certain parts, but these guys would actually build a watch. There's even one student or a couple of students that made a tourbillon.
Really? I mean,
Amazing.
that's pretty special, isn't it?
Made a
Could
tourbillon,
you
yeah.
make a watch from scratch if you needed to now? If you had the tools, could you make a watch from scratch? Could you put something together?
Yes, I believe I could. I have built my own watch, and the difference between building and making is where I got an old movement and I kind of restored it to its almost
Former glory,
and then modified it to be more modern. But I reckon if I was to sit down, I could make my own watch. But
That's incredible.
I think Roger Smith is an exceptional watchmaker because he literally makes nearly 95%
Of the parts.
of everything. you know, and
It's a bit like you with Lego, Spencer.
Yeah,
Have
very
you ever seen
similar.
Spencer's Lego?
No, I
Oh,
haven't.
very
No.
impressive.
By the way, Spencer, joking apart, I know we was going about TikTok when Kaylee's here, but have you ever seen Lego TikTok? Honestly, if you do nothing else later, download TikTok, go
I've
onto
got
Lego.
TikTok 'cause I
go,
have a look at the-
Go
Really?
onto and look at Lego and some of these things. And by the way, some of your old kits that you've probably got in your garage are like Millennium Falcons and stuff like that from 2007. Here we go. JJ's asking a question. Hi, folks. I'm waiting on a Tudor 42mm Pelagos with date from my AD. Do you think it would retain its value over time, or should I just wait for the Rolex GMT that would take years to get from the AD?
No.
Well, it won't retain. No.
Well, when we say retain, let's be honest about this. If you're paying £4,000 for a watch, and in 2 years' time, when your Rolex arrives, you've dropped £1,000 or 1,500 quid, I'm not
He'll
dissing
retain
anybody's
probably
pocket.
60-70%.
Yeah,
of its
you're
money.
not. It's not worth £1,500 in
No.
5 years' time. They do generally tend to hold a certain value.
They
don't
will
they?
hold a percent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about inflation, because I think that puts a spanner in the works as well. with inflation, with the prices, everything that's going up.
Well, you
in
say
the
a
UK.
spanner, isn't that a good thing? The fact
is
that
a
if you
good
buy
thing, yeah.
one, and
Yeah.
Yeah, with the spanner
I got my Pelagos, and the day after it went up 10%.
So what happened with my two, the GMT, the S&G? It's I think I bought it for, I think it was around about 4.5, and now it's 5k.
Yeah, we've had a
But Gav,
super
that's
chatting,
quite
guys.
a
That I feel like I
large-
want to read out really
That's
quickly.
a large
Spence.
increase.
10%, yeah. Thank you very much, Toyota Mo 499. Just great to see Alex on a proper watch channel other than a self. Oh, we can't read that. Yeah, but thank you. That's really nice of you. It said a self-loathing drunk in Venice, but I think that's probably a little bit harsh for the 499. But Toyota Mo, thank you very much.
Thank you, Toyota.
Thank you to that. What's the best part of your job, Alex? What do you most love about it?
I would say is what's that number?
What are you going to say? D. D's the best part of your job.
Well, me and my Gumbaro D was probably the best part. But
Meeting me, I
Hey,
saved
Gav,
it.
you said the best part.
Yeah,
Didn't
the
you?
best part of your job.
is meeting the people that own the watches and listening to their life stories and how they've come from nothing, or and accumulated wealth and having a great lifestyle. And
Because you must see some incredible watches.
oh, I see loads. And the frustrating thing for me is, Gavin, that sometimes I see stuff and I can't even show it online because I have to sign stuff. and
NDAs.
yeah, I mean, there's watches from the MI5 that I've serviced,
And you can't talk about a watch you've got from MI5 because it's got secret gadgets on, or how does that? Is it like a James Bond? It's got the electromagnetic.
well, the 5 is in blue. And also, if you turn it over, it's got the MI5 logo on.
Really?
So
Is that really a thing?
Yeah,
MI5
yeah,
do like special
yeah,
proper watches.
yeah.
I know like the SAS done because I've seen that on.
Yeah, some
on
of the
Barker
Rolex
Jacks.
ones you've seen, the helicopter.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's have you seen those?
I've seen quite a few of
few
those.
of those. Yeah,
Alex,
they're not
have you
supposed to sell them though, aren't they?
No,
Because that's why
Possibly
Rolex
not.
stopped doing them. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anything from the FBI?
Not yet, but
Right.
maybe soon.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean that's super interesting. What's for you has been like the ultimate watch you've had to work on?
Me, what can I say?
Is there an
That's-
ultimate watch where you've just
Ultimate
gone
watch.
bloody hell? Look what's just come into me. One you can talk about.
I'm just thinking now. I've seen so many. I mean, ultimate in what respect? Just like
Well, ultimate to you where you've gone, blow me down with a feather. I can't believe I've got one of these in front of me to work on. It might have been a pre-ceramic Daytona or a.
there was a
you know-
Patek Philippe that came to me for a
Yeah.
refurb, and I didn't almost denied to do it because it was like 250, 300,000.
Yeah.
But I did refurb it. But it was, I mean, I treat all watches the same. No matter what price the watch is, I'll always treat with respect. But this did scare me because of the value.
The value of the watch.
And but it was beautiful. I mean, I'm not a fan of Patek Philippe watches.
Right.
When I say I'm not a fan of the base, like the more cheaper versions. But as you go up in price, then
Up in the complications as well.
Yeah, then-
because
then
you must have to admire some of the stuff they put in there.
oh
in
yeah,
the
I
case.
do. But I mean, I just think they're very, very expensive. Extremely expensive.
Yeah.
But probably the Platinum Patek Philippe. What else have I seen? I've seen. I'm just trying to remember.
Do you sit there with? So I see the watchmakers at Spencer's place, and they've got the little eyeglass, and they sit there like this. Doesn't that kill you? Doesn't that kill your eyes all day long looking through? Or you not all day long through the eyeglass?
I give myself breaks so I don't constantly staring at something really close. But
Yeah.
what I do is I draw the item or the watch or the part to my eye.
Yeah.
I don't strain. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it's just making my knees go to jelly when I think about being that close to something.
You get used to it.
Yeah, I
You
guess
get
I
used
guess
to
you
it.
do. And for you, the worst part of your job.
Probably you could have a watch that comes in that full well. I was having this conversation with Dee. You know full well that you can do the watch, but the customer is very difficult to deal with because they've taken it somewhere previously and they've been messed around. And they've been on forums and they've been told this and that, don't do this and that, and then they come into your office.
too clever. They're giving you the information about it rather than letting you decide.
And they're wanting it yesterday as well, and that creates a lot of unnecessary stress.
What about the issue of like waiting for a part, for example? You might wait for a part for a watch, then it doesn't come. It might be quite a rare watch or a rare part. How does that work?
Well, it's funny you should mention that because I got a text today
Yeah.
where I've been waiting 6 months for a part. And it arrived, and it's the wrong part. And I have to wait another 5 months.
Are you serious?
No.
So you have to ring
Just
a client
literally
back.
before we came on the live stream.
You have to ring a client back and tell them that unfortunately they sent the
Yeah.
wrong part.
Yeah.
Do they get an earful for that?
Oh, I'm going to get an earful.
No, I know you're going to get an
Yeah.
earful, but obviously you just ordered the
The
part.
supplier.
And there's no way round. It's another 6
No.
months.
No. Because this part is from a Patek Philippe watch, and as you know, parts are restricted. So I'm having to ask this person, who's then going to ask this person. Then by the time it gets to me, it's another 5 months.
Spencer, feel free to jump with any questions
Sure.
because you know more about this stuff than I do.
Alex, what I was going to ask is, if you have a very old piece and a customer wants it refurbed,
Yeah.
would you advise them against it or do whatever the customer wants? Because I get asked this so much. You know, we're saying vintage, to leave it sort of with the scratches, with the dents, not to make... I mean, I always say, and I find when selling, it's so bad when an old watch looks so sharp.
Well, are we talking about the case and bracelet or like a dial restoration?
No, case and
Case and bracelet. This is a hard one. It's the preference of the person that owns it, isn't it? But then sometimes they get misguided to say you should refurb it. So for me, if the watch is functional and you can wear it, say if it's a vintage Rolex Explorer 1966, or I would rather that you just change the plexi or polish the plexi and service it and leave the case and bracelet as it is.
Exactly.
Because whoever does polish the watch, say it's not me, and I'm not saying anyone else's work is worse or off, they don't use my services, but you don't know how good their polishing is. And then when you sell it, in my opinion, you're niche in the market, because then you're going to get people that say, it's been polished, I don't want it. But then you'll get someone that says, well, it hasn't been polished, I will therefore choose to have it polished or not. You can't please everyone, Spencer.
No, of
but
course not. Look, there's arguments the whole time for and against. I mean, my biggest upset is sometimes when I've been offered watches and a customer goes to me, I'll be in 4 weeks when it comes back from Rolex. And I'm like, oh my God.
yeah,
So the worst thing I want to from a watch from the 70s or an old Daytona, and it's come back and all the parts have been changed.
yeah.
Service dial, and I say, your watch was worth double. You just halved it.
But the thing is, rightly so, if that person was to take their car to Mercedes, you wouldn't assume that they would lose value on their car because they took it to Mercedes because it's
yeah.
Mercedes. But try and tell that to the public, they think that you're trying to sell them something else or trying to do them over, but you're not.
Yeah.
You're trying to advise them.
LC Watch Collector's asking, can I ask Alex what a rough price would be for a polish on a 41mm steel date just surface scratches?
It's about 225 inclusive VAT.
There you go. That's a spot on price, 225
About 225,
ink
yeah.
VAT. Amazing. What do you think gives the best value as a watch based on like movement and aesthetics? Is there, you look at, let's say, for example, a Submariner versus a Tudor Pelagos, for example, I'm just giving, is there something you think that is not worth the money or that is totally worth the money when you look inside the watch?
So Submariner non-date for me pre-ceramic is a watch that everyone should have in their collection, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What you asked me, what's not worth the money?
Yeah. Well, what do you think's not worth the money when you look at a watch? You think to yourself, that's not necessarily worth the money based on the movement inside it. And
Can I answer that or?
Of course you can.
yeah, of course.
For me, it'll be the new Cartiers, the Santos. The movement they use in that watch is just awful, and I wouldn't. As a watchmaker, as far as I know, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. I might hear this after the show, but that movement is almost designed to be mixed, movement exchange. So they don't actually service that movement, and I don't like the fact that you buy a watch and
they'll just rip the part out and give you another one.
Yeah, but the argument is, well, Alex, a lot of companies are doing that. Well, that's true, but I know that they've had problems with that movement and it's caused issues for them.
Mr. GMT puts a $5 super chat. Yasu to my two sexy kumbare, D and Alex. Many thanks for an awesome show to all. Stay sexy, my friend. These your cousins or something? These related family?
It's a setup.
Yeah. And Elsie then Watch Collector follows up with, cheers, Gab. Would he have to strip it down and take the movement out to polish it?
What year is it? I want to know what year the watch is.
Yeah, LC Watch Collector, what
that.
year? There we go. I see there's all sorts going backwards and forwards in the chat here about watch polishing. There we go. We'll find out what year it is. So If we thought what's like maybe the worst, if you say like for you Cartier, what do you think is the best value? What do you, when you look at it and you think, well, that is value for money. That as a watch, as a movement, as a brand, as a case, as a whole put together package. What do you think it sort of strikes you as value?
What, as in price comparison?
Yeah.
Or? Okay. Ooh. I'm looking.
You
I'm
having a
looking
think?
at D now. I'm just looking at D because I know he wants to answer this.
Go on, D.
For me,
Well, I would
D,
say,
jump in.
Omega.
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 Omega as not paying
All
it
round.
stupid
All
money.
round, yeah, all round.
I would think
2021, by the way, the watch.
2021.
Yeah.
Okay, I wouldn't open the.
You wouldn't
I don't
open it
need- I
up.
don't need to open the.
Okay.
case, no.
Sorry, back to you, D.
I would say Omega for me, all round value for money. They're hard to beat. In terms of the brand recognition
this
you get and the
discussion
movement,
before.
you know,
Yeah.
the 800. If you compare all of the brands in terms of how they've innovated, if you look at maybe the Holy Trinity, you know, they haven't really changed their movements since the 70s, Alex.
No, I mean, look, for me, something that's more expensive, if we're going to go over like the opposite, I'll say a Lang & Son, but I'm being biased because I love that brand.
And it's a very underrated brand amongst even watch fans, isn't it? Because they're superb watchmakers, aren't they? Historically, been around for a very long time.
Yes.
Yet I rarely see one on anybody's wrist.
But that's what I like. That's what I like. They're not, if you see somebody with that watch on, you know about watches.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's they've gone out of their way to buy that watch because they love it. It's not about a hot piece like a Rolex.
Sure.
That's not being disrespectful to people like hot pieces.
No, of course.
But they've actually gone out of their way and thought, no, I'm going to have that Lang & Son.
Which watch manufacturer do you appreciate the most for the quality of their movements?
Who can that be? I'd probably say, I do like, you're probably going to laugh at this, but the Octo Finissimo movement is something that is thin, and I just think how they've managed to make that movement is amazing. Lang & Son is one of my favourite.
Yeah.
FP Joanne, a stunning movement.
It's amazing the headway those watches are made.
What, the FP Joannes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What does
that's-
Alex think of Salita movements?
Oh, Salita were great. I mean, there was issues when they first were produced. I believe it was on the 2892 or 2824 where the auto mechanism would fail in about 6 months, but they revised that. So
And perhaps
that
for
was-
those who are just joining the channel or just learning about watches for the first time, maybe explain sort of what a Salita movement is and perhaps what watches it goes inside.
Well, Salita movement is basically what the ETA movement was, and I believe they lost the patent. Is that right, Dave?
That's correct, yeah.
They lost the patent, and then Salita took over. But what the issue was is that TAG was using Salita after ETA, and it's not just TAG, but there was issues with other companies where the auto movement would fail quite quickly, and there's even a jewel that's upside down, I think, of the 77 version of the Salita, 7750 version, where you have to basically pop out because the machines that make it put the jewel in upside down, which is just crazy. But they are good movements, and I don't like when people say, "Oh, it's got a Salita, therefore it's a rubbish watch." No, I would only criticize companies that use a Salita that make out they're using an in-house movement, or they use a Salita and basically make out that, oh, you've got to buy this watch because it's got a gold case, therefore we're asking for a load of money. I don't like companies that like hide that it's a Salita but ask for big money. I don't have respect for that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So Salita movements are good movement. There's nothing wrong with them. But it's about, you don't want a company that is asking for like 15, 20 grand and has a Salita. I know what someone's going to say. Well, what about Hublot? Well, we can talk
But
about
even
Hublot.
Tudors have Salita movements. I think it's the Royale. They have Salita.
Yeah, so
I prefer
sorry,
those over
Alex,
the other.
Whole Milk is asking, can we ask you to talk into the microphone a little bit because you keep
okay.
moving away.
Okay.
101 of the microphone chat. So hope you got that. Sam D's asking, what are the differences between the grades of a movement? For example, the difference between a Salita Elabore grade versus top grade. Did I say that right? Elabore? Elabore?
Well, basically the differences in movements is how the pivots are polished and how the bridges are finished and the overall look, and also the timekeeping plus chronometer rating as well. -4 plus 6 seconds a day. So if a Salita comes into me and it's chronometer rated, or even a Rolex, it's always -4 plus 6 seconds a day. So there's different variations in the movements.
Is there a favourite movement for you though? I mean,
3-1 caliber.
3-1 caliber,
Which is in this watch but with the GMT function, which
Yeah.
I'm pointing at the GMT Master 2, and it's in the Explorer that D wears. And mine is a 32 caliber, which is the newer Rolex, which I don't particularly like.
For
But I
what
bought the
reason?
watch.
But you
Why?
bought the watch.
Why?
Yeah.
So it doesn't put you off buying the watch.
No, it doesn't, because it's under Rolex warranty. So
Why did you say that, Alex? Why?
Because I've heard and spoken to other watchmakers that have had issues with them. So when the first one came out, there was an issue with the way the rotor moved. It was quite noisy. I think you
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
had
found that
that
on
as
my
well.
sub. Yeah,
I'd
I
had
was
that.
telling you, Alex. I think there's something wrong with this.
Yeah, and
I get that on my Swatch, Alex.
Do you?
They're very noisy.
So,
Not as bad as the 7750, the movement that I've got in my Tudor, but you can definitely hear it a lot louder.
So do you think
than
the earlier
normal
one,
3135?
the earlier sub, was better?
oh, the 3-1 caliber
Yeah.
is it for me. But then again, I'm biased once again because I've worked on that watch movement for so many years. Okay, the negatives of the 31 caliber is that it's not on a ball bearing system, the rotor axle, and also there's two intermediate wheels that tend to fail, and there's a post that wears. But it is a tank of a movement. But the 32, I don't know. I just don't.
Have you worked
You're
on
not
one
quite-
yet, Alex? Yeah. Have you worked on a 3235, say, for example?
I've worked on a 32, but I've not worked on enough to appreciate them.
So is
but-
it actually based on the older movement and they've just changed a few parts? What's the deal with
No,
this?
they've completely.
Is it 90%? They say 90%. Yeah.
90%. Everything, in my opinion, it's completely different watch. I mean, the reverses look very similar. And don't forget, it's on a ball bearing system, the rotor axle, so it doesn't fail.
So what's the biggest difference? The power reserve.
Power reserve,
It's longer, isn't it? It's
70
Yeah,
hours,
70
40
hours.
hours the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the rotor system, the way the escape wheel is as well, the materials
What's the
used.
Gauss on the new one? Because I can't find any info saying how more anti-magnetic it is. There's no, Rolex have not put that on any website. There's no literature on that. If anyone knows in the chat, because it's quite a big thing, isn't it? I mean, does
I'll
it
be
get
honest with
close
you, I
to the
don't know.
Seamaster?
I
No
don't
one
know.
knows.
I don't know. Now, I think Omega movements, the in-house Omega movements, are amazing, especially for what you get. They are fantastic movements. And once again, I don't have experience on them, but I've not really heard anything bad about them. And parts are restricted as well. So even if I got one in, I couldn't work on
Yeah,
it.
a couple of questions have come in. One from Lawrence Fahy. Alex, what is your favourite A. Lange & Son watch?
It's the most basic one. Actually, I forgot the name of it, but I do have it in my head. It's the...
It happens when you get to 40, Alex.
does it?
Yeah, you can't.
Is that something
Yeah,
wrong with
you
me?
probably remember.
It's the most affordable one.
Okay. And a question
Manual.
from General Wombo. How does Audemar's Piguet get the stainless steel to shimmer and shine the way it does in comparison to Rolex? Lesser grade steel, but the AP finishing is out of this world. How is it so much better?
I don't think it's lesser grade steel. It's just the way they lap the bracelet. It's not. I don't believe it's lesser grade steel.
And just for me, because I'm a moron, lap the bracelet.
Well, we have compounds like Mercerna compounds to polish precious metals, and also we have machines like lapping machines, which is basically where you can refacet the case or the bracelet, and also you can satinize as well.
Yeah.
And then we have Bufflex wheels and Manhattan wheels, but lapping is a machine that you've got where you can actually get a beautiful finish on the bracelet, like a flat, true finish on the bracelet or the case.
I've got to come and visit you in your showroom, in your workshop. The original OC, $2 super chat, great show. Still want my Cartel brand hat. OC, if I see Tim in Geneva at Watches and Wonders, I will have one in my bag so that he can take it back for you. No
Where
worries
is
at all.
OC, Gav? Where is he?
New York.
Oh, we can get posted.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
give it to Tim.
Well, I may be able to. I've got someone going.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
General Wombo asks, the AP case and bracelet of the AP Royal Oak is second to none. How do they do it? The finishing feels quite rough. It's such a weird thing. Call it AP magic.
Oh, I mean, it's just the way it's manufactured. I mean, is that in terms of, is he saying that it's good or bad, or I'm not really understanding?
I think he's saying it's good.
it's good.
Yeah,
No, I
second
mean,
to
it
none.
is sharp.
Yeah.
It's very sharp.
Yeah. Josh Benson's asking, how do they get a longer power reserve? Just put in a bigger spring? Question mark.
It'd be the barrel size of the barrel, the mainspring, yeah. So that's how they get a bigger power reserve.
Okay. Right. Let me see if I missed any other questions. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I see. You'll be in Geneva next week. I will see you then. I love watching some of you guys. I see some channels where they do the close up. Is it called ASMR, where you like see the click?
Oh,
the
you
click,
hear the noise and the.
Oh my lord! Do you make any of those? Because you'd be viral. You'd be TikTok viral with those videos.
You want me to make your noises, Gavin?
No, not just the noises, but when they take the things out, they clean it, they clean the spring. If you want to make noises, go ahead.
What sort of noises you want, Gavin?
Yeah, you can choose. I'm easy. But do you do any of those sort of videos where you like quick little like camera over the top?
He does a lot of videos that you don't know about.
Yeah.
It's your bad, eh? It's your bad.
You might use parents to watch this, so I have to be careful what I say.
Tiger, easy. Calm down. I know you're excited to have your friend on, but calm down.
What can I say?
No, look, I mean, I do videos where I'm actually stripping down the watch. You most probably can hear the noise from the microphone. But yeah, I strip it down. But I think the first time I ever did a live stream, I actually lost a part.
Did you?
But no one noticed because luckily enough, I had some parts on my desk and I happened to have.
Because there must be an enormous amount of scrutiny if you put a video out. Obviously, you do know what you're doing, but goodness, there are a lot of people out there on the internet who look at these things and they're just waiting to trip you up, waiting to catch you out. I guess that's where your professionalism comes in.
I think it's karma though, because I was like that with not with YouTube, but with other watchmakers where we would talk about things and say, "No, you're wrong." But I think I'm paying for karma because I do get people, other watchmakers, that ring me up and say, "Oh, I'm surprised that you didn't do that or didn't do this." And there's actually one person that's into watches. He was amazed that I polish hands, hand polish hands. He's never seen that before. JHQ, Jonathan Quayle Higgins.
Right.
Yeah, he was impressed by that.
Okay.
Let's be honest, Alex. We've had a few complaints from other watchmakers we know that I don't understand why he's doing a live stream.
Yeah. I've got a lot of criticism. Yeah.
Alex is a world famous watchmaker.
World famous watchmaker.
Thomas Bennett, Gavin, can you bring me a cartel cap to Geneva, please? Yes, I think I've got 6 in total left. So
big shout
I'll
out.
Bring you one.
Thomas man.
To our Thomas Burnett, Ogumbaros, and Ian and Greggy Boy as well that are watching and moderating. Top guys.
Guys, for you, which Spence, jump in at any point on your show.
Hublot, Gav. Hublot.
You want to do Hublot?
No, the micro brands.
Oh, the micro brands. Which micro brands stand out for you, Alex, when you look at them as a watchmaker?
I think Christopher Ward have done really well. You think? I think they're I mean, I would class them as a micro brand.
Yeah, they are very much a micro brand that are on the up, doing really well.
Venezianico as well.
Yeah.
I must admit, I haven't physically held one, but soon I will be holding one of them. But the overall look and the price point is remarkable, really.
And being a bit geeky, it's a bit of a geeky question, but are you more turned on by the insides of the watch or the exterior, the look of the watch, or does it just set you off a bit more looking at the insides and mechanically how it's made?
This is where it gets quite frustrating for me, because I'll look at a watch, but I think, I can't own that watch. Like for an AP Royal Oak Offshore, I look at the crown that wobbles like crazy, and also the rubber pushers. Why would I want to buy a watch with rubber pushers and a rubber bezel? And I actually, I think I mentioned that to Oishi, and I told him to get rid of that watch, because that's the first thing that starts to look rather not so nice on that particular watch. Where the rubber pushers.
Saying on the older ones really wore, didn't they, the buttons?
Yeah, and
really
I just.
But when they upgraded it, I really liked it when they changed them to the square ones, rectangular pushers, or the ceramic. When they went ceramic, different class.
But we're going to talk about rubber. I don't understand why certain companies, even Rolex, when they use their rubber on Oyster Flex, you know, how you pay all that money for for a watch on like a rubber strap. I mean,
you don't like that?
No, I don't. But then we could
say,
do you think
they were a lot better when they had them on the leather?
No. I mean, well, I didn't even like them on the leather, to be honest. But it's just all that money for a watch on a rubber. But then we can say that about Richard Mille. But Richard Mille, people that buy Richard Mille are buying it because they know for a fact that they can either get the money back or sell it for a lot more. So
not because they like the watch. There must be some people who buy it because they like the watch.
Well, how many people do you know that say...
I only know one person that owns one.
That one person, as soon as we hear someone owns a Richard Mille, we know they've got money. We don't... I'm
going to tell you, he bought it years ago and he's never bought another one. I mean, he's literally owned it for years, and I don't think it was anywhere near as expensive as they are. Yeah, sorry, what? What was the Lang & Son?
Saxonia, yes, the
Saxonia.
manual. Yeah, that is the affordable-ish one, pre-owned, should I say? Yeah, and when I first saw it, my first Lang & Son, it was, I can't explain it. It was like I was amazed. I was amazed by how beautiful. It's no different when I saw the Octo Finissimo Bulgari.
Yeah.
That watch is phenomenal. For me, I could sell all watches that I have. Not like I've got a lot, and I could just wear that. I would sell everything.
That would be it.
Yeah, that would be it. Yeah.
And I'm really surprised to hear you say that, funnily enough, because I always register in my head Bulgari as a jewellery brand.
Yeah, they make exceptional jewellery.
Yeah.
Like Cartier, in my opinion, Cartier made better jewellery than watches.
Yeah.
But that watch, I think it's won quite a few awards, is it, D?
It has.
Yeah.
I mean, look, in that watch in the flesh, you can only appreciate that watch in the flesh. It's so thin, and the way the bracelet articulates, it's absolutely beautiful. The way it
But there's
flows.
one thing you're missing. What is it?
It's Greek.
Thank you.
Okay. A lot of mention of Studio Underdog in the chat, guys.
Oh, hello. Studio Underdog's in the chat. Well,
No. There's a lot of talk
right.
of Studio Underdog as a brand in the chat.
No, like, we love Studio Underdog. They will be exhibiting at the BQ Watch Show.
Never miss a plug, do you?
Yeah, so I just feel
Whilst we're on the subject, Jimmy, tell us all about the BQ Watch Show.
You haven't even asked me.
Well,
What's going
Spencer, I heard that you couldn't attend Watches and Wonders for whatever reason. I thought I'd bring Watches and Wonders to you, Radlet. So we've got some killer brands coming. We've got the likes of Chapek, Cyrus, just to name a few. So some hot brands attending.
There we go,
Chapek
Gab.
is nice.
Yeah,
Chapek is
should be
nice,
good.
yeah.
Sam's asking, Alex, should I use Loctite every time I resize my screwed bracelet? If yes, which Loctite would you suggest? Isn't Loctite glue?
No, but
No,
it's
Loctite.
threadlock.
Loctite thread lock is like a compound where when you put it on the screw thread, basically when you screw it in, it then sets and it hardens. And to loosen it, you have to heat the bracelet. But you got to be very careful.
There's different levels, isn't there?
Yeah. Now the one I forgot which one I used.
Thread lock.
Two begins with two something. I totally forgot.
Yeah, there is a few different ones. There are some that you don't want something that's too hard.
Oh no,
Not like a stud lock that
you
doesn't
wanna,
come undone.
You want to be careful which one you use, because I've known people that have used the real hard thread lock,
and you'll end up chewing the head of
chewing
the
the
screw.
head, and then they heat it on a heater with the case still on, and it's a plexiglass.
Yeah.
You know what happens then,
Yeah.
don't you?
Paul
So-
Thorpe is saying, best watch I've seen on Alex is the Big Pilot.
Yeah, no, I didn't like that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. I mean, I can't come to terms or comprehend Alex wearing a Bumblebee. I think the IWC Big Pilot is what Captain America has in regards to the shield.
I'm Captain America.
Yeah.
The Watch Apprentice is saying, is Spencer not going to Watches and Wonders now?
I am trying to go. We'll have to see what happens.
You're basically on holiday, aren't you?
I'm on holiday. I'm trying to get a flight back for the Saturday morning, but at the moment, I get back after you leave.
I mean, you're in the States, aren't you? It's not
Yeah.
like it's an easy journey
Yeah.
just to divert yourself
So
to Geneva
I'm trying to get back.
leave your wife in the States.
I'm trying to get back, but we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, okay. Failing that, it's me, Kaylee, and Russell.
Russell.
Looking forward to that.
I may be there, Gavin. I
you
may
gonna
be
go?
there, yes. As you're aware, Anna will be at Watches and
right.
Wonders,
Yep.
representing my organisation, A to Z Recruitment. We're going to be with the Swiss School of Watchmaking, trying to cut a deal to bring people over via sponsorship to the UK to come and work at the ADs and specialist boutiques like Spencer's as well. So people like Alex are a very endangered species at the moment, especially in the UK. So I'm doing everything I can to try and
promote
build my
watchmaking.
portfolio of candidates in the UK, because we're really struggling at
Alex,
the moment.
I know that when I say we've, Spencer has had a few inquiries for some youngsters looking to get into watchmaking. What sort of advice would you give to any youngster coming out of school and thinking that they're into watches, they have a passion for watches, and they might want to sort of pursue the path you've taken?
Well, if I was to go back in time, let's say, and do this again, I would have gone straight to WASTEP in Switzerland, Watches of Switzerland training education program. I would have applied for that immediately. I would have done it privately. I think that's the only way you can do the WASTEP in Switzerland, because in the UK you have to get sponsorship and then work for that company for X amount of years, and then you can be a free agent. Do you know what I mean? So they sponsor you.
Yeah.
But the one in Switzerland, is the best one. It's very difficult. It's very intensive. But the fact you're in a different country, seeing different scenery, you know, maybe learn the language as
And also,
well.
I guess, to have as a watchmaker stamped on your CV that you learnt to do watchmaking in Switzerland has probably got to...
Sure.
Yeah, there is a stigma. Let me be honest with you. There is a stigma. Like I obviously, from a recruitment point of view, we don't discriminate from where people study and so on. But it really does count where you got your qualification from. You know, you've literally got a passport to walk into some of the major Swiss brands with a click of a finger.
Yeah, I mean, when I did my WASTEP, our teacher told us you literally have a passport around the world, and we didn't believe him. So I applied around the UK while I was an apprentice for Watches Switzerland in Manchester, and so did my friend who was on the course, and he got a call from Audemars Piguet from New York. He put the phone down on them because he thought it was me.
What, having a wind-up on him?
Yeah.
God, dear, that's whoops.
But he ended up getting the
Oopsie.
job, but I ended
Amazing.
up going to Malta, was the head watchmaker for Cartier in Tag Heuer.
Have you ever been approached by watch brands yourself to sort of go in-house with them? Is that something is that a good thing or a bad
Alex
thing?
was approached by me at Watch Pro. My initial agenda with Alex was to actually recruit him to work for one of the ADs, and we ended up becoming very good friends. But well, this is why we're here today. But
He's got the brains and I've got the looks, apparently.
Who told you that? Your mum?
Oh, I can't say who told me.
In terms of like bringing in a watch for service, let's just take something that I would think is pretty simple, like a Rolex Submariner. How long will it take you to service a Rolex Submariner from start to finish? If you had no interruptions.
No interruptions. Well, as in, well, I quote 6 to 8 weeks or even 10 to 12 weeks. But if you were to do it, it would take you, by the time you test the movement and everything else, about a week.
About a week.
A week.
From start to finish.
But you have to, I prolong my tests on purpose.
Right.
Because I just like to double check on everything. So,
Yeah. Ray Harrison says, would you really class Christopher Ward as a micro brand now? Love the direction this brand is heading in. It's a good question.
yeah, well, they're definitely heading in the right direction. But for me, when a micro brand departs from being a micro brand is when they're in the ADs. For example, Venezianico, you could say they've leapfrogged ahead of them because they're in 92 different bricks and mortar stores across the world. So they're departing from that micro brand, you could say, stigma, as where Christopher Ward, you have to buy from them directly through an e-commerce website. You can go to a showroom in Maidenhead. You know, I think they're at that stage now where head of buying from these different big authorized dealers will probably start looking into Christopher Ward now and say, we may pick them up and maybe put them on our website and take it from there.
So for example, like my Duckworth Prestex, which is, they now sell them in, I think, Watches of Switzerland.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that mean they're no longer a micro brand?
You could, well, independent brand.
Yeah, independent.
Independent. I think there's a big difference between independent and micro brand. You know, micro brand, you know, you could say that Christopher Ward are becoming an independent brand, not so much a micro brand like a two-man team.
Would you
got a great
gauge it on
setup.
quantity of pieces sold?
Yeah, as well.
The
Yeah.
quantification on...
I wouldn't be able to give you a
What
figure.
about
on Christopher.
Zelos? They're a good brand. aren't
Zelos they open the door to all of these micro brands.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
World Time, you know, we had them exhibit there, relatively unknown, and before you know it, they're selling hundreds of thousands of pieces. You know, they're in different bricks and mortar stores across the world as well. And I wouldn't say that they are a micro brand anymore. I know that even Seiko, Citizen, big brands looked at buying them out as well. And this is what the dream is. I mean, if you're a micro brand, all you can hope for is to get bought out or get into an agreement with an authorized dealer that trusts you to get the pieces they need in. You know, if they're willing to get an illegal agreement with a micro brand, you know that brand is on the way up. You know, they can redeem any issues they have. They've got a service center, a call center. You've got to have that. You've got to qualify to get into the AD, if that makes sense.
So just to clarify, Spencer, that means that Panerai
Panerai's
is
a
no
micro
longer a micro brand.
It used to be.
Do you like
used to
Panerai,
say
Spencer?
AP. They used to say AP and...
Do you like...
Do you like Panerai?
I did, but I just find too many new models come out. So again, people have often asked me, I feel with the Rolex, you can wear it 6 months, it's timeless. Whereas the Panerais, they're not as comfortable to wear. And you've always got something else coming out.
So, well, you said there's too many models.
Yeah.
So there's two things in life that you're going to die, and Panerai are going to make edition of it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but I will say that Panerai that I saw in your shop, the gold
What,
one.
the platinum?
No, it was a rose gold.
Okay. You didn't see the platinum there?
No, I
where
saw
it had the date on the back of the watch.
What do you think about the Panerai in-house movements? Sam's asking.
the true Panerai in-house movements. It was the 8-day one, the rose gold.
Yes.
Yeah, that was remarkable. That was just stunning to look at. Actually, when I looked to that watch, when I saw the watch, I thought I would like that because of the size. And when I turned it over, I was not expecting to see that movement. The finish on it was fantastic. It really just grabbed my eyes.
Pete the Greek's asking, how long does it take to do one of those courses that you sort of mentioned?
Well, I did my 3,000 hour course, the WASTEP course. It was 2 years. It was very intense, but I think in Switzerland it's less, but it's really, really intense.
Really intense.
Yeah.
Isn't it the work placement, Alex? I believe the work placement that you do. So if you go to Switzerland, you do your WASTEP, or you go through the Swiss School of Watchmaking, they will place you at Gerard Perregaux or AP or Patek. Or if you're lucky to go into JLC, then you've hit the jackpot because they share the secrets of the trade with the guys doing their...
Well, I would look. I mean, you could do the WASTEP, and certain companies. I'm not going to say which certain companies. They actually say to you, "Forget what you've been told. Now you're working for us." So they then put you in their training facility.
Right, and change the rules.
Well, not change the rules, but there was one particular company that my mum told me, "Ma, you should have gone there, darling. You should have worked in this company. No, you shouldn't have gone to Malta. You should have stayed here and worked for them." And that's what she told me. And she, I suppose maybe she was right in a way, but there's certain companies that when you come out that WASTEP course, they say, "Listen, you may have been taught this and that, but now we're going to teach you." And they really are thorough with you.
Sirocco Sales is asking, would Alex recommend using a Cape Cod cloth to polish my watches?
No.
Yeah, he says works wonders on his trumpet.
No. Cape Cod, no. Because the reason why I say that is because what happens is you polish one part of the watch and it has this horrible smeary feel. And plus, if you have like the Submariner bracelet, steel and gold, or all steel, the brush part becomes polished. So you're now causing one. You're
polishing the steel as well as the gold.
Yeah, don't use Cape Cod. No, just give it to a watchmaker to polish.
Meanwhile, the big debate in the chat is all about Toblerones. You won't know why, but there's a whole big debate over Toblerones. Anyway, there we go. Well, I can't wait to watch that all back. Alex, is there an innovation you'd like to see watch manufacturers achieve, sort of in terms of movements? Is there something you think, in terms of innovation?
Well, I mean, look, one innovation I would love to see is how we can track watches, how we can somehow actually have a watch that once it's sold from new is tracked if it's stolen. I think
like the identity or a V5 or a document.
Or isn't it a constant GPS tracking that's emitted as soon as the watch is, I think.
It's quite interesting.
Very topical.
It's very...
and I think that will... Whoever comes out with that idea will do extremely well, but how? That's the.
I just get the feeling with that LVMH and the Richmond Group partnership that's going on, and the
Paul's digital watch vault. Have you followed on that? It's what Paul's doing in the US.
No, tell us.
Yeah. So he's got something where the identity of the watch, you have pictures of the watch, all goes on the blockchain, and the minute it's lost, it's tracked. And everyone knows that watch is lost. And again, I don't know if anyone had seen this, Paul also done another article with the BBC that was on the other day, where they spoke with him about the watch crime, what is needed to improve this. And Paul clearly said it's a bit like having cars, not registering them if they're stolen. And that's basically, go back 10 years, that's what's happened with watches. With Rolex, one of the biggest watch brands, saying, okay, we're not going to have a lost and stolen. It doesn't make sense. But something has to happen. And if everything was logged as being lost and stolen, no one could buy because they're lost and stolen. Now there's that window when there's a robbery, there is a period where they can be traded. And let's face it, we all know the numbers with these pieces.
Yeah, look, I mean, whoever could make that technology,
that will just crack it.
So like a little GPS chip that's so small it fits inside a watch, basically, like an Apple Watch.
Yeah, very, very similar. Yeah,
but you have to charge it, don't you? And
yes,
that's the thing. That's the issue. is the charging aspect of things. You're not going to keep on opening up a mechanical watch, and solar power, that's not going to work
Could
either.
be wireless though. Could be wireless charging.
Yeah, but isn't that going to cause a few
like
issues?
Paul says,
on some
trouble
of
is
the expensive
trackers need
pieces?
charging. Yeah. Yeah, can't the movement power...
Only Grand Seiko
No,
can do this.
no.
I think Grand
it's,
Seiko could do because they...
Look, for me, I think it would have been done by now.
Yeah.
It is possible, but it is possible.
You better
It
run
is
in with the
possible.
patent, Alex. You better get it
No,
patented straight away.
listen, it is possible. It is possible, but how?
There's a question
it must
in
be
from
possible.
there's a question in from Giza. Who is the watchmaker that Alex respects the most?
McGonigal Brothers, FP Joanne, Frank Muller. Frank Muller, I highly, highly respect because he went through a lot of drama with the Swiss because they never took him seriously. But as a man, as a passion, he's remarkable what he's achieved.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he didn't choose the best way in life. I think it's he had some issues. But he, if you look back, if you remember Frank Muller, he kind of made watches interesting.
You're a big fan, weren't you, Gav?
I've had a Frank Muller for
King
over 20
Conquistador?
years.
Don't tell me it's all on a
Master
pink
Banker.
strap,
Master
Gavin.
Banker.
Is
No,
it-
it's
is
not
it-
a pink strap. It's a Master Banker 5850. I've had it since 2001,
You're
and I
wearing
love
that
it.
Watch Pro. You're
Yeah,
wearing
I
that
do.
one at Watch
I
Pro.
absolutely
it's
love
a nice
it.
piece.
Yeah,
It's look. I mean, I know
one of
he
my
uses,
favourite watches.
I know he uses ETA movements.
Yeah.
But still, I think he made watches interesting with his complications.
Yeah. I mean,
What about
that
the crazy hours?
I
Crazy
love that.
hours. Jesus.
Crazy Hours was a. I mean, the whole concept is just nonsense, really. But the fact that he did that,
Yeah.
you know, is
And the roulette one, wasn't there,
Yeah,
Gav?
the roulette.
Yeah, there was a
roulette.
roulette
But
one.
I will. Now you mention roulette, I think the person that actually met him that I really admire and respect is Christopher Claret, and he did that blackjack watch, which actually plays blackjack. I've always mentioned this watch because I've seen
Who made
it.
that one?
Christopher Claret. He did the blackjack watch, so you actually it's all mechanically done. So you can play blackjack against the watch. So you can sit there and just pull a lever on the side, and it does the cards. And then you would like that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, thought so.
Nicky Twosop saying Breitling have a distress feature that could be adapted. Rolling Man, a GPS tracker would get ripped out like they do on cars. Heavenly Mark is saying there's a technology on the way like RFID strips, 1 millimeter thick.
Yeah, but RFID strips are only as good as
The
RFID
network around it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're not GPS.
No.
It's just a chip. So
Yeah.
as soon as they know where that chip is, they can just drill it out, or they can take the link out.
But what you're doing is you're taking the petty criminal out, the mugger who's just going to take your wristwatch.
Yeah.
It takes that out of the equation if they think maybe the watches are being tracked a little bit. I mean, it's an interesting one.
It has to be GPS tracked constantly.
Yeah.
Obviously, only used once the watch is stolen.
Yeah. Now, it's a question we haven't asked for a very long time on this show because, times are tough. But Spencer's buying. What is your Grail watch, Alex?
I know, it's the affordable London son.
The affordable one. Emphasis on affordable, Spence.
Affordable.
If it was
Affordable
Christmas coming
housing.
and Spencer's buying, what are you having?
It's the Christopher Claret on the screen.
Oh, yeah, let's have a look at
I
that.
suppose that would be.
Let's show that.
Pop it up on the screen, James. Go on.
There we go. So you've got the roulette
The
wheel
roulette
on the
wheel.
back, and then we got the. Oh, nothing.
Oh, gone the wrong way.
And then this blackjack at the front there.
There you go. Blackjack. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, that's a cool piece.
I mean, mechanically, it's phenomenal what he does. But look, there's other brands that, like the McGonigal brothers, I have a lot of respect for as an Irish brand.
Yeah.
I think that both brothers are separated now and doing their own thing. But
Back to your Grail.
what would I have?
Yeah, Spencer's buying. We do this all the time. Jimmy, did I ever ask you?
Yes, I kept on repeating myself.
Gav, it's a
though, didn't I?
micro brand.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't the micro.
He can have a Christopher Ward.
But no. But look, Alex, all about the piece. Maybe the piece you'd
What
maybe
would be
get
the
funding
piece?
off Spencer to create your
What
own
would be
Oh
piece.
the
yeah,
piece?
I've made my own watch, and I've designed my own watch from 3D, 2D CADs, and I've everyone that's seen it, it's 4 or 5 people that's seen it, and they've signed NDAs.
Can I ask you how much it costs to fund a watch like that?
Oh, it will cost
For R&D and everything else. What did we just what are you talking
probably
about?
over 100 easily
For the
That's
first
all right.
one.
for the first one. Yeah.
And the rest will be cheap.
Get two made for you.
I was just going to give you a bit of advice. You can't call it AP.
No, that would be
Alex
good. Alex
Photi won.
No, that
You
would
can't
be good,
call
yeah.
it AP.
That would be good. No,
So it could be like Patek when they hit with the Stern family. It could be Alex and AS. Alex. And
Oh,
Spencer.
I've already got the name for it.
That's
But
phenomenal,
keep that under
that
wraps.
system.
Yeah.
Keep it. Tim Jack's asking a
Beautiful.
great question. What does Alex think of Jacob and Co?
Look, Jacob and Co now is crazy what he does with the Astronomia and those, but actually looking at them close up, it's not a nice watch. It's not well made. It's how it looks and how it works is amazing, but as in it's not a good watch. Now Jacob and Co also, I believe, did jewelry as well. You know,
I
but
think you're being a bit harsher there, Alex. What would you say? It's not a good
Where
watch.
you say it's
No,
not a good watch,
no.
I
You
look
know
at that
what I mean?
Bugatti Chiron.
oh
watch.
no, the Bugatti,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
I mean,
It's not really a watch. It's like a piece
Well, it's
of
a
art.
piece. It's a piece of art.
yeah,
Yeah.
the
And it just
Astronomia
happens-
is a piece of art.
It just
but-
happens to
and
tell the
every-
time as well.
Yeah. I
And
mean, you don't buy it for being a watch. You buy that as a.
Oh, what did you use it for then?
Well, come on. Let's be honest, Alex. Why did you buy your IWC Big Pilot?
To tell the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why would I not use it? I've got D in a corner now.
My next question led on from the last one, actually, which was if you were designing a watch, what functionality would you have? Would it just tell the time and date, or would you have a few other bits and pieces on there?
I always say, Kiss, keep it simple, stupid. You know, I like to keep it simple. It probably just even the most complication I have is probably a date, really. But on the watch I've designed, something that's been achieved that's never been achieved.
Spence, we up for it?
100 grand.
Well, it's 100 bags, but I'm thinking, can we do it under an SEIS?
I'll plug it on my channel.
Can we do it under an SEIS?
Give me a promo
There's all
code.
sorts of
Claim the
tax
loss
breaks.
back to
Yeah,
start
well, hold
with.
on a second. Also, there's tax breaks for R&D.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Proprietary tech in the tracking.
There you go. Proprietary check. Yeah, in the tracking.
it's trackable
we're,
as
we're all
well.
over that. Amazing.
Well, let's be
Amazing.
honest, Alex. The people that have seen it, people that are with RM, they were like, you know what?
Well, I have to admit, well, the people
Yeah.
that's seen it said to me, Alex, it's quite a scary looking thing.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me feel a bit uncomfortable, and that's what I wanted to do.
Guys, if you haven't done so already, I don't often say it during the show, but don't forget to give us a little upvote. I think everything helps these little funny algorithms. Alex, I'm going to ask you a quick fire quiz before we go into the questions from
Quick fire
Instagram.
questions.
Yeah, quick fire questions. Well, it could be a bit of a quiz. Rugby or football?
Neither.
Good. What would it be for you then?
Boxing.
Boxing. Okay.
A true man
Boxing
sport.
or UFC?
Boxing.
Okay. Wine or beer?
Oh, a nice red wine.
Whiskey.
Favourite film of all time?
Once Upon a Time in America.
Love that film. Favourite singer or song?
Stelios Gazanjis.
Sorry, I'm going to have to Google that after.
Bravo, re, compare, boy. Yes.
Okay. Can you sing one of his songs for us?
Superstar.
No,
International superstar. that one.
International superstar?
International.
Okay, I'll
or
Google
Nodis
that.
Faganagi.
Oh, Noddy. I'll give the nod to
Noddies.
Noddy's. is the one.
Somamu.
Somamu.
Okay. Okay, boys. iPhone or Samsung?
Samsung.
Way, amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Because of the
Michael
camera?
Biden.
Because it can only be
I've never
because
had
of
an
the
iPhone.
You've never had.
No,
You've
no,
never
no,
got
no,
sucked
no.
into
I don't
the Apple
know.
ecosystem.
No. Nope.
So you PCs as well?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't use Apple. No.
Amazing.
Got an Apple Watch.
Yeah,
No.
correct. No, that's why there's no Apple Watch. Marvel or DC?
Neither.
Good. Night in or night out?
Night in.
Blonde or brunette?
Redhead.
Everything about Alex is just not. There's not one question on here that
you
he's
got
got an
multiple choice.
answer.
Cochinore.
Wow. Favorite watch of all time?
Oh, I'd obviously Big Pilots.
Beautiful. Audemars or Patek?
Audemars.
Casio or Seiko?
Neither.
Okay. Neither.
Neither.
This
Neither.
is what I have to put up with. all
Coffee or
watchmakers all
tea?
day.
Coffee.
Coffee. Big Mac or a quarter pounder with
Neither.
cheese? You don't
Neither.
eat that anyway.
I
I've
do,
seen your
I do,
body. You can't
I
eat
do.
that.
No.
Do you eat
Big Mac.
McDonald's?
Listen, when I'm with my son, yeah, I have to have a Big Mac.
Oh, I'm pleased we've got something in common.
I've,
haven't we?
I've had 2 or 3 Big Macs in
Have
one
you
go.
seriously?
Oh, yeah.
Like the bit. You're probably too young to remember the Big Mac challenge, aren't you?
No.
Do you remember the Big Mac challenge back in the late 80s?
Well, actually, I was born in 83.
Were
So, no, I tell a lie, I don't know it, no.
No, okay. Google it. It was really good. So, Big Mac or quarter pounder with cheese?
Big Mac.
Big Mac. Best Bond for you? Who was the best Bond?
Casino Royale.
That's the film. So the best
Yeah.
Bond actor for you is James
Oh,
Craig.
as in the recent one. What's his name? Craig
David.
Craig David. Daniel Craig.
By the way, Craig David, if you're watching,
Daniel Craig.
you make a
Daniel
great
Craig.
Bond. Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Superhero film or spy thriller?
Spy thriller.
I thought you were going to say like chick flick or something, just to be a bit controversial. That does all those sort of questions. And lastly, before we finish up, guys, it's just time for... Time for our questions from Instagram. We asked over the weekend all questions for Alex D. You can answer these as well. Does Alex repair and service Seiko quartz watches, and cost if you do?
No, I don't know.
No, you wouldn't touch them with a barge pole.
No, it's not like like some snob or anything, but I refer them to other people that are good.
Are good. Okay, nice referral network. Is Alex coming to Newcastle? Asks Jamie Opulence.
Hello there, Jamie. No.
Okay, next up for you is from Josh Benson Photo. Why would a modern movement be designed without hacking seconds?
It's just not something that is really, hacking. Now, can I just ask is this hacking word? I don't understand.
Well, it's
I'm glad you said that, because I was going to ask you what's hacking
I never
seconds.
understood why
when you
people
pull
were
the
hacking.
crown out,
It's balance stop. It's
it balances the second hand stops
But
while
it's
you
not-
adjust the time.
Yeah.
The only reason why the Holy Trinity haven't got that
Hours.
was
Well, is it?
yeah, it's the whole handset.
Yeah, but why is it? Why
but
does
you can-
everyone get obsessed about hacking?
Yeah,
I've never
because-
understood it.
Because the Seiko fanboys complained that the Seiko SKX never had this, so when they went to the 435 movement, but the Holy Trinity, none of their watches have hacking. Not Audemars, Vacheron or Patek, none of them have got
I've
hacking.
never understood why people go crazy over hacking. This whole hacking
But you
thing.
can set your watch precisely per
GMTs
second.
have it, don't they?
Yeah, because
Rolex
means
GMT.
because you need to set it to the second. Yeah, but I've never really understood why people. It's just such a. It's always a topic of conversation.
Okay, we'll move on to the next one.
Yeah.
I don't know what I got lost when I asked the question. Alex, what is the most difficult watch to work on? Asks Artisan Curation.
Cartier Chronoflex.
You try setting them, no?
Stop it!
Just forget it.
Don't touch it.
What's the difficulty with it then?
It just goes berserk. It just even when you put a battery in it, or
it's a
I
quartz
don't touch
chronograph
it. No,
disaster.
Yeah.
Next question's coming from Gotham. Omega, Zenith, Rolex, Patek, AP, Tudor. Rate them in terms of pure horology.
Rolex, Patek, AP, Zenith, and Tudor,
And then Amiga.
and Amiga.
Zenith, a bit underrated for you?
No, I love Zenith.
No, do you think they're underrated as a brand?
Oh, they're
Yeah.
underrated as a brand, but I had a Zenith bronze, the pilot's one,
Yeah.
and I sold it, and I wish I didn't. But I was going to say something then, but what annoyed me about that watch is that when you open it, it's got like a massive plastic movement hold, and it just
It's got a plastic case.
no movement hold.
Oh, movement hold.
You know, like I'm just.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
sorry,
Like
I
you
just-
get on these like cheap Ronda.
Yeah,
movements.
I'm sure it was
Wow.
plastic, and I thought, what's
Most
that
people
about?
won't know that though, will they? When they're
Yeah,
wearing
but
one.
it's just wrong.
The
It's
whole
wrong.
quality.
Yeah.
It's wrong. Yeah.
Jamie Opulence, Patek is king. I think that's more of a statement than a question. Well
Yes,
done, Jamie.
Jamie.
Good to see you. Artisan, do the movements in watches justify the value of Richard Mille?
Yes, they do. They do.
Incredibly complex.
How they're put together and some of the way that they actually carve, like this, there's certain one that's come out now, and the way they've like sculptured out of gold and bridges, and I can appreciate why
They are the money they are.
not okay. They're obviously
At list, let's call them at list. You can appreciate the money they are.
yeah. I can have. I don't agree with what materials they use,
Yeah.
but I can appreciate why someone may want to pay that.
Gotcha. Alex is asking, Ben, Alex is asking, where are you based, please? You can answer that one.
Liverpool, based in
Liverpool,
Liverpool,
yeah.
with my Scouse accent,
With your Scouse accent.
Lots.
Gotham asks, do you think Rolex will ever make open case back models?
No.
Never say never.
No.
Never say
No,
never.
we can have a bet now if you want.
Really? Why?
Yeah. No, it's never going to
Well, they've done it with the Tudor ceramic.
No.
What about they've done it with the Artisan Genève, where they're
But that's not
custom-
Rolex.
But that's not
though.
Rolex.
That's not
absolutely, but it's doable if they
Rolex.
wanted
Yeah, only
to.
because they wanted to make it look different than Rolex. You know, so they wanted
But
to do it. It's not going to happen.
You don't think so?
We can have a bet now if you want.
Alex,
Well, the
you're
bet
right.
will be lasting until you
Nothing's
both die.
guaranteed in
Because
Well, I
life.
never thought
I
they'd
know,
make
but-
titanium. In all fairness,
I actually remember you saying on the show,
I
I'll have a
didn't
bet
think
there.
they-
in
How
not
old
in
is
my
the brand?
lifetime.
It's old, isn't it?
what's that?
The Rolex brand is old, yeah?
Yeah.
But they've never done it. Every other brand nearly has.
It's true.
Maybe they'll do it on the Cellini.
Their
because
movements are not nice enough, I don't think. Well, they're okay, but they're not that pretty to look at, really.
Mark asks, what's your one and done Grail watch? I feel like we asked that. But,
Octo Finissimo, all in gold,
yeah.
maybe with that new sort of bronzy dial that they brought out. Yeah.
How much is that?
Oh, I don't even know. I've not even. I don't even.
Doesn't matter. You don't need to know. You just know it's
no.
just not happening.
No, it's not happening.
But one day if Spencer's buying,
Not now.
then
Spencer's buying it.
then
Yeah.
we might be on. Okay. Thoughts on Oris watches?
The 8-day move. Didn't they do an 8-day movement? The Oris.
I think so. Yeah, 8-day movement.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
may be. Let's be careful, Alex. They could be exhibiting very soon. So
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're very nice watches. Yeah, especially the 8-day movement. Yeah.
Jimmy, what do you think of Oris?
I like Oris. So I think they're a good brand. No, seriously, I think they've got great value for money. Let's be honest. As an entry piece, if you're in the market around that £1,500 to £2,000 mark, you've either got Docs or Oris long jeans. Oris is a good way to go in terms of what you get. For that price point, it's good.
The one thing I'd say about meeting you, Dee, for me, is you open my eyes up to so many other brands by coming to your show. Brands that I didn't necessarily appreciate or hadn't heard of before.
Yes.
And actually what you get to realise is that as somebody starting or an enthusiast starting or even an enthusiast at a certain level, there are so many options and choices now, aren't there?
Yeah.
For some amazing brands.
The world of micro brands has changed in the fact that if you have a vision and you set a goal of creating what you want to produce, you can do it now by just getting off-the-shelf parts. As long as you get the design right, bit of a marketing plan together, you can put together a great watch, because this is what Salita's done for the market, They're giving people the opportunity to buy into a brand that maybe they can only dream about buying in terms of the established brands that are out there.
On average, how many watches will you work on in a week then?
I can work on about 10 to 12 watches a week, but that doesn't mean they're all
No,
services.
yes,
though.
yeah. Some could be a polish.
Yeah, some could be a polish, some could be a part job. But yeah, about 10 to 12 watches.
Somebody actually asked me a question today, which I didn't put in the questions, but I'll ask you anyway, which is just a very basic, simple one. I want to clean my watch. Soapy water? What's the best way to do it?
As long as the watch is water resistant. So let's say if it's
That's a
like
good
a
point.
Rolex, so you got to make sure the crown is screwed in. Use a light brush. If it's all stainless steel, very light brush. Soapy water.
Baby shampoo is the king.
Baby
shampoo.
My biggest hitting video of all the ones I've ever done was me washing a G-Shock with baby shampoo.
To be fair, you're washing a G-Shock, not a Rolex.
Yeah, but I thought I
Alex,
didn't want
what
to take the
about a
risk.
washing machine? No good.
So you mustn't clean your watch with baby shampoo.
But very liquid.
But
Very liquid,
toothbrush or a softer brush than a toothbrush?
Toothbrush on a stainless steel watch is fine.
It's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Use a Brillo
Yeah,
pad.
use a Brillo pad. Yeah, Brillo pad.
Bravo Gumbaro, that's the ambassador for KO.
Artisan, what's the most common repair on a Rolex? What do you often see Rolexes coming for?
Failed rotor axles on the 31 caliber. Always. My watch is making this noise and they're shaking it
And
like this.
you're speaking to the idiot again, which is me. What's a rotor axle? What
So
does it do?
your mechanical watches, automatic watches have a rotor system where when you're wearing the watch, the actual rotor itself is spinning, which then helps power the watch.
Gotcha.
So the axle that sits on that always wears. On newer, on the 31s and the 31s mostly, and the 22 Rolexes, the older movements, they don't tend to wear that much because I believe the quality steel they used, and it was heat treated rather than chemical treated. I don't know if that's 100% true, but that's what I've been told.
It's fascinating sitting next to you, by the way.
Or because of my looks, or because of what I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, if you want to do the looks thing, I mean, I don't mind. I'm all for that. It's all right. Everybody loves everybody.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Not
I
only is
don't
he a
want to
world
upset Jimmy.
famous watchmaker, he is a world famous bodybuilder.
Bodybuilder,
Mr.
supermodel.
Cyprus, Mr. Cyprus in the house.
Now, I see you've got a couple of baseball caps in there. Is there someone you wanted to give a little plug to, I believe, earlier? Obviously, you got your Perpetual
I've
Time,
got
your
time
channel.
travel. Now, I use time travel pouches on a lot of my services, depending on what price it is. So
Yeah.
services over £600-700. I give a free time travel case.
Can I have a little look at that?
Yeah, of course.
That's very
yeah.
nice. Tell me about time travel. How much is this case, generally speaking? It's all lovely.
That case is around, I believe it's around 45 or 55. I need to double check.
Yeah,
but
and where can people find? It's actually very well made. It's beautiful. Where can people find these if they want to buy them?
it's just Google time travel. Their website is time travel, www.timetravel.co.uk. Actually, I'm wrong. No, it's not.
.com.
No. It's a longer version of that, but it's
So like time travel watch cases.
No, it's not .co.uk. There's some. I think it's uk.co.uk or something. There's I don't know.
Everybody in the chat is now
Best
talking about.
plug ever,
I forgot
mate.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
best
really
plug
good.
in, yeah.
The bottom line is
it's
that's
great.
what you
Yeah.
want. Time travel
I've
cases.
got the cap as well. So.
There you go.
They were at World Time, I think, weren't
There
they,
you
Alex?
go.
I think
Time
they exhibited
Travel
at World
UK.
Time, weren't they? Yeah.
Yeah,
Great
the
guys.
owners are just really nice.
Timetraveluk.co.uk.
Yeah, and it's a British brand, so
Yeah.
I support them.
As you can imagine, asking the one question about what to clean your watch with has set off a whole spark of debate over what toothbrush, what brush. Use a Boar's brush, hair toothbrush. I disagree on the scope of toothbrush. Brittle will mark on precious metals. The Wilsdorf brush endorsed by Giorgio Mondani was the best investment I ever made.
By
Says
who?
Mark.
Mondani.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows?
Maybe we could start a new service.
I use hand soap gel and warm water and my
Watch
fingers
detailing.
to rub the watch. You only
There's
live
a
once.
brush on. I've got a YouTube video about this, and there's a brush I use that's fantastic.
Okay.
So I actually signed the brush because someone wanted my signature on the brush. I'm not
World
kidding. you.
famous.
You're serious?
I'm serious.
You know,
I'm serious.
the only reason I believe you on that
Go
is
on.
I've been out with Spencer
AP.
once and somebody asked him for a photo and an autograph and I literally pissed my pants.
He's on Crime Watch
Yeah.
now, Spencer.
Yeah, it's not the first time.
No, I know it's not the first time. By the way, in case you didn't notice, Spencer is on the show tonight. Kaylee, we miss you. We hope you got called up by Chris Brown on stage.
Yeah, we won't see her back if she has been.
Can you
that's for
imagine?
sure. That'll be it.
Can you
That'll
imagine?
be it.
Rolly Mania, is the BQ showroom open yet, Gav?
No, it's opening in May. We've got some shows scheduled for June.
Do you have a firm date now,
Yep,
Spence?
We do.
we?
Should we announce the date? We might as well announce it now.
Go for it.
So
Go on,
big-
Jimmy.
On the 10th and the 11th of June, A to Z of Watches is partnering with BQ to bring you the BQ Watch Show. We have over 22 brands confirmed. And yes, Ian, if you're listening, I've convinced Spencer to bring in some KO beers. So,
They'll be there.
Some KO beers?
yeah. Oh, what,
KO.
you never heard of KO?
No.
The best beer ever made.
Really?
From Cyprus.
Okay. Well, that's probably why.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So-
Of course. Love that. That's fabulous. So 22 brands appearing.
22 brands.
How do
22 brands.
people sign, or when
They
will they
will
have to sign up for
register
this?
on the website. You'll have to register to come along. It'll be the 10th and the 11th, and you'll register on the website to join us.
Right.
That's correct, yes.
I feel like, is it a paid event for tickets? How
It's going
does
to
it
be
work?
free entry for people attending.
In that case, Spencer will give away 5 as a prize if they're
Yes,
free.
yes, and you know we're going to have lots of food and drink available as well. It's going to, we will be, yeah, yeah.
Apparently, Spencer, you're having
nice to
food
be
and
This
drink.
is one of the biggest selling point for us to do the event, Spence. You said you're throwing a few bottles at the bar. Yeah,
And
Bit
we're
of
going to
tab.
have our YouTube studio hopefully up and running by there, Spencer. So we're going to host some live shows from the show, which
What
will
we
be great.
can do is show how to clean and polish watches.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Alex, are you going to come down for that? Will you be around at all for that, do you think?
Oh, of course, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be there, 100%.
Because Steve's giving out free tickets.
supporting my Gumbaro over there.
Yes,
of course,
yeah.
Spiros as well.
Fantastic. So, guys, keep your eye on the BQ website. And where else will they find the details?
Well, I'm going to be putting it on all over the social media side of things as well. So you guys just check out my channel as well. If you want to have one-on-ones with the brands, I can set up meetings with you to meet the brands. Say if you wanted to have a one-on-one with Shapek or Cyrus or anything like that. Yeah, free watches. Yeah, talk to Spencer. I'm sure we'll put one in
Yeah,
the goodie
free
bag
watches,
as well.
Always free watches.
Yeah. That's probably not a bad idea, is it? That'd get the punters through the door. Free watches from the brands.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. No, it's not private. It's not over.
Maybe free beers, Gav.
Maybe free beers or, maybe free waters or something like that. But we'll work it out. Alex, it's been an absolute
Thank you.
pleasure having you. And thank you
for
so
having me.
much. I know you popped down to London today. Thank you very much for coming all the way to Northwest London and seeing us. Really, very much appreciated. And continued success with your channel and obviously with your business.
Thank you. Thank you.
Spencer,
Thank you, Alex, once again. Thank you for coming.
Appreciate it. Thank
and
you.
Dee, also for you joining us too. We've never had someone 2 weeks on the bounce.
I think it's been about 3.
Don't know what's happened.
Three.
I feel like
I think I'm going to
he's-
retire. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll just let him come.
Yeah, I
and do
think
the
I
channel.
might have to have a bit of a break now, Spence.
Yeah. We've got some new guests lined up for the coming weeks,
Yep.
just to let you know. Got some really interesting people in a couple of weeks' time. So I'm just firming those up for you guys. And then it'll be back to, once we finish all this serious sort of watch talk, we'll be back to all the comedy and everything else that goes with Kaylee coming back next week. Spencer, outro, over to you.
So thank you guys, and remember, if you haven't dealt with this yet, it's only a matter of time.
See you next week.